For us to be alive, we have to have a body and you have to have a soul, correct? You have to have a body and you have to have a soul, correct? Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right? And if you don't have a body, if you don't have a soul, what is it? What do you have? This you know, Rupal.
Dead body.
Dead body. And if you don't, and if you have the soul and if you don't have a body, what will be? What will you be?
A lost soul.
A lost soul. Right, Rupal. You know this. You've heard this enough number of times. So, for us to be alive, we have to have a soul and we have to have a body. Correct? If there is no soul, we are dead body. And if there is no body, we are a lost soul. Correct? Is everybody in with that? Correct? Yeah? Right? Is everybody in with that concept? Right. So I don't know who this PR is. Who's PR, by the way? Yeah, DA. Okay. It's good if you guys just put in your names. So this is what happens. Hi, Preeti. Good to see you. So this little bit of issue between having a soul and having a body, and if we lose awareness about either of the two, so we may not be dead, but will we really be alive is what I'm asking. किसकी बर्थडे बन रही है? यहाँ पे किसी की बर्थडे बन रही है. Okay, so don't you think we would still be half dead? Will we be completely alive if we're not aware of our soul or of our body? Oh, hi, Dr. Preeti Shukla. Good to know that you're an oncologist by profession, because I was just in an oncology conference 3 days ago. So my question to you guys is that if we lose awareness of our soul and we don't know where our soul is, though it is here, will we still be as alive as we should be? Will we still be as alive? Come on, answer that. Someone can answer. It's nice to have an interactive audience. Not exactly, yes. And who's that? Who's DA? District Attorney? Yes, please elaborate. Right, I will elaborate. So I would say that the issue is, like I said, when we started out with this live session, the issue is that we lose focus on who we are. We are not connected to our soul. We're definitely not connected to our body either. Okay, we might be very aware of how it looks, but we really don't know what's going on with it. Okay, that's why we consume stuff which is not exactly pretty for our body, which is not exactly in harmony with our body. Otherwise, we'd not be doing 20 other things that we're doing today, the lifestyles that we live today. We overdo everything. There's no balance, right? That kind of abuse we can put our body up to only and only if we are not aware of our bodies. Correct? That's very easy to understand. Connecting the dots here, right? Am I correct? Come on, responses, please. Yeah? Correct. So the entire point of us going back to connecting with our soul, with our body, the physical body, is to become more aware of ourselves. And we are going to use the moon energies to do that. That is what we are going to do today. Okay? And we are going to help ourselves to release what is no longer serving this existence that we have today in this life. All right? Because just remaining, just surviving and not really thriving, just remaining alive is not going to help any of us, right? So that is what we are going to start building. And before we go deeper into the moon, understanding of the moon and its work, I am aware of the time, Rupal, 20 minutes to go. I am going to say one more thing about these two important components which keep us alive, the soul and the physical body. And that is the source of these two important components which keep us alive. So, when you buy your car, and who all is fond of, I hope everybody is fond of good cars here, because I am. And, you even in the car, when you drive a car, and no matter how good a car it is, isn't it that you're supposed to send the car back to the service center, to the source of the service of the car? Isn't it? We send it to the authorized service center of the car, isn't it? We send even a car to the authorized service center to service the car every few months. Mandatory, isn't it? Or if we have run the car a few kilometers, if we've done more than its fair share of running in a month, then we may even have to send back the car to the service center. ऐसा होता है कि नहीं होता है कि हमको गाड़ी को वापस सर्विस सेंटर भेजना होता है अगर हमने उसको ज़्यादा चला लिया होता है? Correct? Yes, everybody? कोई जवाब नहीं दे रहा है. बड़ी साइलेंट क्लास है मेरी. मेरे को शैतान बच्चे ज़्यादा पसंद हैं. Yeah, thank you for replying.
Yes.
Right? So, अगर गाड़ी जैसी चीज को, which is an inanimate object, maybe not for everybody, अगर गाड़ी जैसी चीज को सर्विस सेंटर भेजना होगा, तो ये जो दो कंपोनेंट्स हैं जो हमको अलाइव रखते हैं, सोल एंड बॉडी, क्या इनको सर्विस की जरूरत नहीं होगी? किसी ने सोचा है ये? क्या आप लोगों ने सोचा है ये? Correct. Right. So who do you think, where do you think is the soul coming from? Soul का service center क्या होगा? Soul का center क्या होगा? Soul का service center क्या हो सकता है आपके हिसाब से? No, I missed that. What did you say? Who was that? Someone did say something. Hi, Amoli. Good to see you. So who's the center for the soul? Who's the source of the soul? Okay. What is the source of this body? ये body कहाँ से आई? This is an easy answer. Connecting to the superpower, right. This is Atma. So we connect with Parampita Paramatma. Correct. Absolutely, Rupal. Body is coming from the earth. ये body से आया है, body earth से आई है, और earth में ही जाएगी, correct? That's where it's going to go back to. And soul आया है, like you said, superpower. So superpowers meaning they say कि हम एक अंश हैं, परमपिता परमात्मा, परम आत्मा का अंश है और परम आत्मा का अंश है, and we are just a part of it. We're just a slice of it, or ansh of it, an iota of it, right? In existence, of course. And this body has come from nature, like the earth, and it has to go back to nature. But how much do we go back to service our body back into nature? Are we really making sure that our source of nourishment is nature and not chemicals? I mean, funnily, even the nutrients or nourishment that we seek today are something that we're seeking from chemicals. So how can we be completely alive on something fake? How can our body thrive on something which is completely fake? Is a question that I'm going to ask you guys to answer for yourself. And how much do you think is our body really cherishing what we are doing to it? Okay, just to be looking good on the facade and rotting inside? Okay, that's a question that you may want to ask yourself. And the second thing that I ask you guys, for the soul, how often do we go back and connect to the source? So Mother Goddess below, Father God above, Mother Nature below, and Parampita Paramatma or Father God above. Okay, just connecting the dots for you guys. Okay, and if we connect this to ourselves, would we finally have the nourishment that we seek for the two important components which put us in the category which are absolutely essential to the eligibility criteria of us being alive, right? So that is what I'm asking you to connect to. Something very, very basic, something very, very simple. Who's doing this? Let's not do that, please. Something very, very basic, something very, very simple. Okay, Rajesh Bhaiji is okay at recording. Thank you, Rajesh Bhaiji. So, something very basic I'm asking you. Number one, to please become more focused, to move away from everything that is defocusing us, and focus on what are the two important components of staying alive, your soul and this body, and not the way the media has taught us to focus on our bodies in a very, very outwardly facade way, okay? But the inside, okay? What really matters inside, okay? And also to focus or use the moon energies to connect, to become more aware of what is actually brewing inside us, okay, like a volcano, because moon is a very, very powerful tool to help us do that. So with that, and with about 30 minutes to go, I'm going to quickly say what we're going to be doing today, okay? I asked you guys to come up with some bay leaves. I have some here. And some pens. I'm not sure आप लोगों में से कितने लोग बाहर बैठे हैं. तो जब हम बाहर बैठते हैं, when we sit out in the full moon energies, just like the sun, moon energies are equally important for us to absorb. जैसे now the doctors are beginning to say कि आप please moon में बैठे, sun के sunlight में बैठे थोड़े दिन, थोड़े समय every day, ताकि आपको vitamin D3 मिले. But vitamin sun is not just equivalent to vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is just what the doctors have taught you now, but there's so much more than that. And nature, when the more you connect to nature, the more you'll realize it. And it would be, it's a beautiful journey when you become more and more aware of the source of what actually gets you going. Okay, so if the source of your body is the earth and the nature, and you become aware of what role nature has on the nourishment of your body, the actual body, and how it thrives with that energy which is unseen and not on the table, not just not the food on your plate or what's on the table, you will realize what you've been missing all the time. Okay, and you will go after what you have now become aware of. And as far as the soul is concerned, the second thing that is an important ingredient for you to be remaining alive in the spectrum, like Dr. Preeti just said and pointed out, we need to connect to the source. Just like you send your car for service to the service station, and the authorized service station, because it is that precious. You're not going to send a Ferrari to the local mechanic here. Okay, so I'm going to say the same thing. Don't make the mistake of sending your soul. This is more important than a Ferrari that you can buy, or as many Ferraris that you can possibly buy, or Phantoms you can buy. Send the soul to the original source that it has come to get its nourishment and necessary service. That is what my request to you guys is. Having said that, and like I have already said that we're going to use the moon energies. So what are we going to do today? We're going to first connect to the two souls, okay, sources of the two ingredients, which is the body. So we're going to connect with Mother Goddess below. And I'm sitting under the moonlight. Beautiful. Lovely, Lalita ji. That is exactly what I expect you guys to do. I'm sitting inside because I'm in Delhi. I wish I wasn't. If I was in the right place, I would be outside too. The second thing that we do, we're going to, so this is us. And so we go down and connect with Mother Goddess below, the source of our body, the physical body. And then we go up, Atma, to connect with the Paramatma, the source of our soul. These two are irreplaceable. In this lifetime, in this third dimension, if in fact, physical dimension, because there are many dimensions to this physical dimension. Between the spectrum of red and violet, you have various dimensions. I would say for you to stay alive in this spectrum of physical dimension, you have to also connect to the soul, and the source of your soul and the source of your body. Once we've done that, we will then look inside, become more aware of ourselves, and disconnect from everything that is no longer serving any purpose for our existence. Things which have happened in the past, stuff which has been hurting you, things which are here and now and are toxic. Tell me, if you knew that there is a garden you have, I don't know how many people like to keep a garden here, but if there's a garden you have and you want to have your garden, you have your garden flower, okay, your pots to flower. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि उसके अंदर सुंदर फूल आए, तो क्या आप उसके अंदर weeds उगने देंगे? क्या आप उसके अंदर अलाउ करेंगे कि वो weeds उगते रहें? नहीं, बिकॉज वो वीड सारी उसकी नरिशमेंट खा जाएंगे. इसी तरह से हमारे जीवन में भी, हमारे लाइफ में भी ऐसे एनर्जीज होते हैं which act like energy parasite. We call them energetic parasites. So we're going to cut away and move away from that side, the negative side of everything that is binding itself to ourselves, to the emotional self, and literally like a parasite sucking out the life energy out of us. So we're going to do that. Okay, so that is one more releasing that we're going to do. And then we're going to recount all things that are bothering us. Like I said, please list out all the issues that you may have, okay, in this lifetime, even if it's like a four-faceted issues that you have. Please list out everything that you don't want in your life, and list out everything that you do want in your life, okay? And we will just use this little chemistry of bay leaves and the moonlight and fire. Fire is purifying, right? We know that. Fire is beautiful. Fire can be very, 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 very important tool again, okay? So we're going to use fire, we're going to use bay leaves, we're going to use moon to get rid of everything that is no longer serving us. That is all we're going to do. इतनी सफाई तो हमको वैसे भी हर महीने में करनी ही चाहिए थोड़ी बहुत, right? So we're going to start again, all over again. People who have been with me for years, 20 years, 11 years, 15 years, they know already. And those who haven't been, they can start doing it now. It's never too late, right? So 6 minutes into our meditation time. Any more questions, please? Any questions anyone has? Anything that you haven't understood that we've spoken about in the past 45 minutes? Any questions? Come on, you can speak up. There are 20 of us here. Chandramani ji hai, Bhavna Shah hai, Darshita, any questions? Deepika Agarwal, any questions? Lalita ji, yeah, come.
I just want to ask we have to pen down the problems in negative way or the positive way. What we want and what we don't want. What we have to write.
Okay. Very nice. Very good question. Yes. So, at the moment, we're going to use just singular words. Okay? For
Okay.
example,
Only the thing.
for
It is
example,
the issue. Only the issue.
yeah,
Not
just
the yes
no,
or
just
no.
one
Yeah.
word. Just one word. Okay? For example,
One word. One word.
just one word. I'll give you an example. For example, you have a health issue. Okay?
Yeah. So,
Or
yeah.
you have multiple health issues. Okay? So what do you want to do? You want to manifest good health. Right?
Yeah. Good health.
Good health.
We just
Okay?
write it down.
Or
Health.
you want to manifest
Yeah.
manifest perfect health. Right?
Okay.
So you just
So what
write
is it in a positive manner?
perfect
That means
health.
it is in a positive manner.
I'm sorry?
Not negative. It is in a positive manner. Not
I'm going to tell you
good health.
both. I'm going to tell you both. Okay? So you can write, some people may prefer to write just perfect health. Okay? Focus
Okay.
on the positive. Yes, very good way. Sometimes, but sometimes the issue needs a little bit more attention. For example, if someone has a particular disorder like diabetes, okay, एंड परफेक्ट हेल्थ हम लिख रहे हैं तो उसमें 100 चीज़ें आती हैं. आपकी स्किन परफेक्ट हो जाए, आपकी लिवर परफेक्ट हो जाए, आपका डाइजेशन परफेक्ट हो जाए, आपके ऑटो इम्यून डिसऑर्डर्स भाग जाए, पर वो डायबिटीज़ भाग के नहीं दे रही है या किसी की कैंसर भाग के नहीं दे रहा है. Right? So everything else has sort of gone around it and not become better. So what do? When something is bigger than the rest of it, so you make two chits. You write perfect health and you also write diabetes. Okay? So when you release it, when we tell you how to release it, and this is something that I've been teaching for years now, you just concentrate on perfect health, and when you see the diabetes leaving, you say you see diabetes leaving. Okay? And then you literally visualize. You take the perfect health one, the bay leaf or chit. If you don't have bay leaves, take a chit of paper and write down perfect health. And then you say everything else which is unwanted leaving, and what are you left with? Perfect health. Right? That is exactly what you're left with. So you can do that. That literally for one thing or two things, you can keep these two chits because they complement each other. Right? So you can do that. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Any more questions, please? Can we do that for our children? Mothers have profound impact on their children, whether or not you're on good terms with them or bad terms with them, Lalita ji. What happens with between mother and children is another connection. Again, it is about the source and what you have. Like I said, right? Someone's audio is on, please. So exactly like that. What is happening with the universe? Can we write with the red or the blue pen? Neither. Can you please use a green pen instead? Because that is more... Darshita ji, one second. I'm just going to answer that. First, let me answer this. Mother and children have a very strong connection, just like our soul and the supreme soul. Okay, just like our body and this planet Earth. Okay, Mother Nature. So something goes wrong with Mother Nature, like we're setting things wrong in Mother Nature. There is no way that things are not going to go wrong with our body. It will come back, like it's coming, like plastic is coming back into our system as microplastic, right? Similarly, अगर हमारे collective consciousness में सोल के साथ कोई परम सोल के साथ कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा तो हमारा सोल भी इधर उधर हो जाएगा. Okay, just like अगर कल को Mercedes बंद हो जाती है as a company, तो we will have a problem getting our Mercedes serviced or getting the spare parts, genuine spare parts. So similarly, both ways, okay? Mother gets impacted by a child gets impacted by the mother. Remember, every single cell of the child has come back from the mother, okay, and so it has come from the mother, and the child himself or herself, when there's something known as stem cells, which our scriptures are actually written about earlier on, and now we know that science knows that stem cells are very important. And when the mother is pregnant and something happens to the mother, like any of her organs goes bad, the stem cell in the children will go to that organ which is threatened, even if it's her heart, and repair it. Did you guys know it? आप लोगों को ये पता था कि अगर माँ जब बच्चे को कैरी कर रही होती है, माँ जब गर्भवती होती है, oh beautiful Rupal, this is beautiful, thank you. Thank you for the shot of the moon. Right, so just like mother जब pregnant होती है, गर्भवती होती हैं और बच्चे को कैरी कर रही होती हैं, तो माँ के तो सेल से बच्चा का पूरा शरीर बनता ही है, पर अगर माँ के किसी भी चीज को डैमेज आ जाए, किसी भी ऑर्गन को डैमेज आ जाए, तो बच्चे के जो स्टेम सेल्स होते हैं वो जाके उसको रिपेयर कर देते हैं उस ऑर्गन को, एंड मदर कैन कंटिन्यू टू बी हेल्दी, एंड दे आर लिटरली वन. तो जब जन्म के बाद, जब बच्चा जन्म हो जाता है, जो आप अम्बिकल कॉर्ड जो हम काटते हैं, तो वो केवल फिजिकल नेचर में कटती है, वो इमोशनल नेचर में, अनसीन वर्ल्ड में नहीं कटती है. तो जी, अगर आप किसी बच्चे की माँ हैं तो आप जरूर ये कर सकते हैं, पर जस्ट लाइक अ मदर कांट कंटिन्यू टू ईट द न्यूट्रिशन, जब वो बच्चे को गर्भवती होती है या बच्चे को अपना दूध पिला रही होती है, तो जो माँ खाती है वो बच्चे को लगता है, करेक्ट, वी नो दैट. बट उसके बाद जब बच्चा बड़ा हो जाता है, good health, right, Darshita, that's right, जब बच्चा बड़ा होने लगता है तो उसको अपना न्यूट्रिशन भी चाहिए होता है. उसकी अपनी सोच सिर्फ माँ से, पहले 5 साल तो माँ और बाप से बनती है और अपने घर वालों से बनती है, पर जब वो स्कूल जाने लगता है तो जो उसके आसपास के स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, टीचर्स होते हैं, whatever they're learning, या नेबर्स होते हैं, उसका भी उसके ऊपर असर आने लगता है. इसी प्रकार से कुछ एक्सटेंट तक अगर माँ करेंगी तो डेफिनेटली कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा, राइट. डेफिनेटली कोई जो भी आप करोगे वो उस पे सिर्फ बच्चों पे ही नहीं, आपके घर के सारे सदस्यों पे पड़ेगा. All the people in your family who are living with you, and even if they're not family, by the way, there'll be some people here who are not living with their family but friends, like students and stuff like that. Yes, you can, for financial problems too. Of course, you can't keep taking the nutrition shots and expect the other person to become 100% fine, but it will, over a period of time, make a difference. Slowly and steadily. We will talk about it more when we talk of energies and vibrations. Like Nikola Tesla said, everything is about energies and vibrations. So, having said that, we are 3 minutes past our meditation time, and then I will request you all. We have to burn later, yes. So please sit with these few things. Keep a lighter intact. I requested you guys, green pen is not available. Okay, then you can use a purple. Do you have a purple pen? You can also use a purple pen, right? Yes, when she mentions in the meditation we have to burn. Yes, thank you, Rupal, for answering my questions, answering other people's questions and helping out. Not possible, no problem. Then use whatever pen you have and it's perfectly fine. Then between the red and the blue, I would say if you have financial troubles and you want perfectly good financial health, then please don't use a blue pen because that is not going to help. Okay, then use red. Okay, then it's like in some things, if there is a lot of anger in somebody and you want them to calm down, obviously red pen is not going to work. Then you have to use your common sense. Use blue. Okay, if there's fights happening in your family, if there's lack of harmony, obviously you're going to use green or blue. Okay, But if there's no love or passion in between two husband and wife, or between a couple, then obviously you're going to use red. Okay, so it's pretty much common sense then, right? Colors are, remember, about vibrations, harmony. Green, of course, always green. Blue is too blue. Okay, love, pink and red. Love is more passion, Rupal. Passion is more, sorry, love is more pink, passion is more red, finance is green and red. Remember Ashtalakshmi, okay? You'll see China's absolutely crazy about red. There's a reason for that. Red is power, okay? And finance is also power, okay? So green and red, or either. But don't give too much importance to the colors just now. This is not about switch words and switch phrases, trying to make quick notes, okay? I'm going to say that let's start the process. You could dim karo the lights. Sit in a comfortable, beautiful place. I hope you guys are carrying the diya that I asked you to.
We can change the recording now.
Oh yes.
Rajesh Bhai ji.
हाँ.
If you can.
जी राजेश भाई जी.
Rajesh Bhai ji.
Yes.
And I think he'll. Yeah.
आप बंद कर दीजिए राजेश भाई जी. Then I will start recording again.
Yeah.
Thank you Rajesh bhai ji for being here. It is so nice to have you always. So who all is ready for the meditation?
You will be taking over the recording, or shall I?
I will, because all of you, I would prefer for you guys to concentrate on the meditation.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is...
Can you please stop this recording once?
Haan, Rajesh bhai ji will have to shut off the recording once.
Yeah, it's done now.
Yeah? I would want to play some good music for you guys in the background. For the lack of time, I couldn't sit down and find just the right one. I wanted to play the right binaural music, which would have helped you guys to... Again, music has profound impact. Yeah.
Let that ghee diya.
Who's here?
This is Priyanka. I'm asking कि वो दिया जला दे या बाद में?
नहीं, अभी आपको बताएंगे हम. अभी बताएंगे. First, we're going to do a few things and then we're going to do this. Right?
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to quickly recount what we have spoken in the knowledge sharing session. We have spoken about how defocused we are from ourselves. We are so distracted by everything that we have lost focus on ourselves, okay, and in the process become not aware, not less aware, but not at all aware of who we are, what's happening with us, what we're so caught up in trying to match up to society's expectations of a good living, that we actually have forgotten to ask ourselves, what is good living for us? Okay, that is what we have lost, number one. Number two, we spoke about how to become more aware of ourselves. We spoke about what two components does it take for us to stay alive, which is our soul and our body. Then we spoke about, did I start recording? Oh, sorry, I stopped. I'm so sorry. Okay, now it's starting to record. Okay, so we spoke about how defocused we are, how distracted, social media, expectations of society of what good living is, that we have forgotten about what is good living for us. Okay, so this is about becoming more aware of ourselves. Okay, then so that we can become more connected, know what we want, and have a more fulfilling and contentful life. Money does not make it contentful. Okay. Number two, then we spoke about the two components which make for a living being. One is our body and the other is our soul. Otherwise, if either of them go missing, we'd either be a dead body without a soul, or a lost soul without a body. Very simple, right? So two things, we need soul and body. Then the fourth thing we spoke about was how, just like a car needs to go back to its source, an authorized center, to get a quick or an absolutely essential service. Similarly, the two components of our body, the soul and the body, needs to go back to the service center to get the service, okay, to the source to get the service. Then where does the moon come in? Moon comes in because moon, being an absolutely essential planetary body, astronomical body, which has profound impact on water, which, like it does create the tides in the ocean, 70% of our body being water, it has profound impact on our body as well. And now having understood that, we know that moon also helps us to bring everything water in our body to the surface, and that includes emotions, hidden emotions, things that we have shut down. And that is why people get more and more emotional and less more reactive and more hyper, and less patient with each other when it's full moon. And other people face even more other problems. I can go on about that, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to use tool number A tool, which is moon, to bring our emotions and hidden emotions to the surface. 2, we're going to use bay leaves, which is another tool for helping us to get rid of unwanted emotions and everything that we don't want in our lives. That which is why I requested you all to keep a note of what is it that you don't want in your life, okay, and then release it. And then we are first going to connect. First, what we're going to do is connect with the sources, which is Mother Nature below, Father Goddess above, Father God above, and then we're going to connect. Then we're going to connect to everything that we don't want in our bodies, okay, which could be any kind of emotional relationship. So every relationship, this I forgot to speak about, has a side that may not be very positive. Even the most beautiful relationships, for example, a mother and a child. What has happened when a mother and a child connects? You share everything with your mother, the happy memories, the negative memories. And when she hears about your negative memories or experiences, she feels really bad. She has intense emotion for you. And then there's a cord which is formed about that memory. And in that cord, there is the good memory that you've shared with your mother, happy moments that you've shared with your mother, good experiences that you've shared with your mother. And then you're telling your mother about something that negative happened in your life, and she has a reaction to it. And immediately your sacral chakra and her sacral chakra are connected. And that little dark cord that remains, you've forgotten about it, she's forgotten about it. Suddenly you're working and you remember it. It suddenly goes and hits back that energy to hits back your mother and creates a negative impact on her. Then you haven't forgotten it, you have forgotten it, but your mother hasn't forgotten it, and suddenly remembers it, and that energy will come and hit back through that cord and hit you and remind you of it. So it becomes a continuous ping pong of that negative energy, and it keeps rebounding, creating a negative impact on both of you. So every relationship has a beautiful side and a non-beautiful side. So what are we going to do? We're going to cut away the negative side. So there are golden cords between two people, and there are the black cords between two people. So what are we going to do? We're going to just get rid of the negative cords in this entire process. So we connect with the Mother Goddess below, the source of our body, the physical body. We're going to connect to the soul above, the Parampita Paramatma above, Paramatma, the super soul above, to make sure that our soul is nourished. And then we're going to cut away these negative cords which are drawing us to the negative emotion, negative side of everything that we are connected to. These cords can be with people, these cords can be with things, they can be with people, and even ambitions. Remember that. Okay, so no, this we're not going to write. DG, we're not going to write about that, Darshita. We're going to write about, this is the cords that we're going to cut. Once we have done that and we have created a protection layer around us, that is when we're going to do this in little chotu ritual about writing in bay leaves. We will write and we will burn right there and then. So don't worry about writing right now. Okay, right now just worry about going into a nice deep meditative trance that we're going to begin now. Okay, no more writing, and I'm going to stop recording also now, and I'm going to stop the live session, and so that we can restart the live session with the meditation. All right, guys, see you at the other end of the break. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, and